Hi fellow reefers, I'm Eddie of Eddie's Reef Aquaria. Today's video, you might have guessed by the intro, I'm going to talk about the Yellow Submarine Favia. If you follow me, you know the routine. I'll talk basic care requirements and all that. And besides that, I got two other acquisitions, two more corals. I got another Goniopora, this one green. It's starting to acclimate. I only got it yesterday. And I also got a Hollywood Stunner, which I placed here. So when I finish the video in reference to the topic I'm going to talk about today, then I'll talk about, the actual corals and all that. So let's take a deep dive. Hold on. Okay, so here we are focused at the Yellow Submarine Favia. Well, first of all, I found out, of course, that Favia, they are LPS corals. Now, Favia, or better known as Favitas, are found in the islands of the Indo-Pacific, including Fiji, Tonga, the Solomon Islands, and the Great Barrier Reef. Now, when it comes to lighting, flow, and feeding, well, first, lighting, they should be kept in low to moderate light. As you notice here, I went ahead and, if you follow me, you'll notice that I had it in the substrate. Well, I went ahead, I got a little rubble, a little piece of rock, and I glued it and I raised it just a little bit, just for anchoring purposes. But I plan to keep it at this level as long as I can. Then going to flow, well, flow should be low to moderate. Here I have the MP10 at 90%. And if you look at the other, well, personally, if I look at the behavior of the other corals, like let's say close to the substrate, you actually see a lot of current. Because if you observe, when I shoot the full tank shot, if you go ahead and you observe the gorgonian that I have on the left side, on the back of the lobo, you'll see how it actually moves. So there is quite a current on that area, so that would be fine. Now, next in topic would be the feeding. These Favias, or Favitas as you want to call them, will accept a wide variety of foods ranging from pellets to frozen foods. I personally feed it Reefroids and Phytofeast by Reef Nutrition. Now, Yellow Submarine Favia is considered a high-end Favitas coral. So knowing that the care level, although it's easy, but you do have to be careful with it. When it comes to placement, as I was mentioning briefly before, but they should be kept, I would say, between the middle to lower part of your actual tank. Care level, as I have it here, is easy. Now let's go into the water parameters. This is what I found out when it comes to these type of corals. When it comes to calcium, calcium should be kept at a level of between 400 to 450 ppms. Now, when it comes to alkalinity, it should be kept between 8 and 11 DKH. Phosphates should be 0. Magnesium should be kept between 1200 and 1350, which is usually what I have with when I change the salt to the Tropic Marine Pro, I'm able to keep 1350, 1360, so that would be ideal for this type of coral. Of course, the temperature should be, I'd say, between 74 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. I really would keep it no more than 81 or 82, but this is what they actually suggest on my research that I did. And then the SG should be between 1.023 to 1.025. I happen to keep this reef at 1.026, but that's fine. And To close, in reference to the video, in reference to this topic, it is considered a hardy coral, so that's why its care level is easy, and a beginner can actually maintain it. And that's basically it that I had when it came to the information, basic information of this coral. Now I'm gonna move the camera a little bit and I'm gonna show you the two new corals that I actually purchased. Hold on one second. Okay, so this is the first coral that I got. This is another Goniopora. I saw the mother colony and wow, it's the one where the tentacles are very long and they're like fluorescent. But this, of course, is a little frag. It's not open as much because, as I was saying briefly before, I just got it yesterday, to be honest with you. So it'll take like, you know, a little longer, like a week or so, and then you'll actually see it like the pink one that I got that is already open and all that. Now let's go to the other coral. And then this other one is the Hollywood Stunner. This one is mounted in like the plug is actually like a little plate. Now this one, I'm going to go ahead and leave it more or less there. But as you must be aware, the people that follow me, is that I usually move the corals around. And if you followed me, like let's say last week where I talk about the different tips of how to keep a reef, you will notice on the outline and the bullet points that you eventually will get to know your corals, the behavior of them, and see how they evolve and see how they're doing. And if they're not happy in a place, in an area that you place them, you should go ahead and try to move them. I mean, that's only if your parameters are in check. So you should go ahead and move it. But for now, I'm going to keep it here. This one looks a bit different from the previous one that I actually had. Now, the previous one that I had it on the Aquastyle 9, which I officially decommissioned the actual tank. But I had it there and it was doing great, which was under mass spec Razor Nano lights, and it was doing great. Excuse me. And then when I go ahead and I put it here, I have placed it on the front part of the tank and it started to turn brown, like if it was too much light. So I moved it to the lower right hand side and it actually died. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Now at that point I was using the Red Sea Pro salt. That salt is excellent, but sometimes other salts which are also high end like that one might have a little more of a certain element or a little less, and probably in your reef that'll actually do the actual trick. So now that I've changed to Tropic Marine Pro, I'm noticing that, like for instance, the candy canes, they're doing great. They already split to actually 3, which, a matter of fact, now that I'm talking about it, let me see if I can get a shot on them. Hold on, let me see. There you go. You see, they're doing great, and yet prior to this, I have fragged my mother colony, and I had put one on the upper right hand corner, and it was doing great. Then it started to separate and die. Then I got another frag, and I put it on the bottom, and the same issue. But yet this one, under Tropic Marine Pro Salt, look, it was 2 heads. Then if you follow me back, you'll notice that I talk about how they split. The polyp actually elongates, then it closes, and like in this case, you have now 3. So it's doing fine. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to keep the Hollywood Stunner here on the bottom and see what actually happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it educational and interesting. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And right next to it, the subscription, there's a little bell. That's the notification bell. So every time I upload a video, which is usually weekly, you'll be the first ones to know that Eddie's Reef Aquaria uploaded a video. And like I say at the end of all of my videos, happy reefing, keep safe. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.